What's up, YouTubers? Jose Quiñones de CNC. Hey, I'm here. Well, YouTubers, as you can see, the garage is way emptier now. Everything else that you didn't see in here has been put into storage because I need to work around here throughout the COVID-19, so this is gonna work well. Now, today's video is not about the workshop, it's about the storage. If you thought that you had seen everything that I had on those racks, I'm afraid to tell you there is way much more: metals, motors, gears, industrial implements, a whole bunch of stuff that have been accruing literally through 25 years. And I don't want to get rid of it because you know how it goes. As soon as you get rid of it, boom, you need it. When we acquired this property, it came with a shed. And today's video is about the shed. I don't want to give too much of an introduction here, so let's get right into the shed and why it was a nightmare that had to come to an end. As you can see, this is a big mess. There's a bunch of stuff outside, and the reason is because it really doesn't fit inside. The inside is packed, okay? So if you see all of that stuff outside, that's because that's where it had to go. And a bunch of it is metals, and I'm okay with leaving aluminum outside, so that's not a big deal. But here I am cleaning this as best as possible. Finally, I get to reach areas where I can clean some of that weed, but ideally all of that stuff would have never been there. It's just that I didn't have the space. Bunch of robot parts, extrusions, I tell you, stuff that I have been accruing for decades and that I don't want to get rid of, because as soon as I get rid of, I'm gonna need them again. So lots of cleaning. This is a project that took days, many days. And here I'm just cleaning this portion. Look, it looks so much better. I almost want to keep it now. Cleaning. And so check out where that go-kart ended up with. You know, that go-kart is one of those things that I'm almost ashamed to admit, but I have too many projects. I mean, I bought that go-kart thinking I'm going to put an electric motor. That was over a year ago. I haven't even touched it. But here you can see the second part of the mess. Bunch of extrusions. I love my extrusions. I'm never gonna get rid of them regardless of what happens to me, because they're so freaking handy. So they're a keeper, and you can leave those outside, that's no big. Of course, they get filled with spiders, so not a pleasing sight. Now here we have the completion of that area being cleaned, and here is the only footage that I have of the inside of the shed. I regret not taking better footage of that, because this thing was a freaking nightmare. Not only because of my irresponsibility of not cleaning it up. What you're seeing here is it's not all of it, okay? This is probably 50% of all of the mess inside of that shed. And the problem was that the shed, as soon as I got it in 2017, it was caved in. The center of the shed was bowed. Basically, it was bowed in, and it was very unstable. Every time I went in, I felt like I was basically somebody was gonna find me below all of this rubble, because of how unstable those racks were. So very dangerous proposition. One of the reasons why I really didn't like this shed a whole lot. And here is the point where we come to the realization of the problem. Look at the level of putrefaction this shed has at the moment. And this is a 20-year-old shed, okay? So this didn't happen overnight. Obviously, this puppy has been sitting here for a while. I mean, all of the wood is rotten. It's not something that you can think, I'm gonna repair it. I mean, maybe you can, but to be honest, at the level of putrefaction that we have here, you might as well just get a new shed, because look at this. Look at the roof. It's all busted. If you're gonna repair this, you're gonna have to fix half of it at least. What's the point? I mean, it's just not worth it to me. So look at the level of putrefaction here. This thing was leaking. This is not something you want to deal with. And at that point in time, you know, I thought of, what if I move it and put it somewhere else? Nah, there was no point. So it had to go. Now, taking this boy apart wasn't as easy as I first thought. Here I am struggling on how on earth do I remove these panels. To be honest, ideally, I would have just asked the universe to send a meteor and just blow this bastard out of the way. But you know, those things are really hard to come by and to get them on the right place. So I am here trying to remove the blasted panels, removing nail by nail, pounding on these bastards. It wasn't easy. But you know, that's it's just what needs to be done, one nail at a time, and eventually it was all dismantled. Probably there is an easier way, but you know, don't want about. I actually documented the whole thing, but don't want to bore you with too many details. Literally, it's just taking stuff apart, taking stuff apart, taking stuff apart. It's so blasted boring. It took days, probably 2 or 3 days to do all of this. Now, a mistake that I made was to remove the walls before the roof, because in hindsight that made the structure unstable, and at some point in time I realized, boy, this is not gonna work, this is dangerous, this thing is gonna fall on top of me. So I had to go in with a pry bar and start debilitating the 2x4s here. That's what I'm doing right here, debilitating it, because I'm gonna let gravity take over. As you can see, it's leaning, and here we go. Whammo, gravity took over. Now from here on, it's just basically a bunch of cleaning, nothing major. I did plan on repurposing that wood, which was good. A neighbor got a bunch of the shingles because they apparently use them as weed control on flower beds. So I was lucky, because getting rid of those is hard. But you know, some of this wood can be repurposed. I could make workbenches with it, or I don't know, something, right? So I did keep the wood for a rainy day. Some of it got discarded though, because not all of it was good, so the petrified stuff was discarded. But here we can see an aerial of the aftermath of the shed being sent into Armageddon, Oblivion, Memory Lane, whatever you want to call it. This is it. The shed is bye-bye. It's a bunch of wood at this point in time. And I'm gonna leave you with this last piece of footage. Something doesn't look right, so I'm gonna let you figure it out. I do want to thank you for tuning in, and keep tuned, because obviously something is changing. I wonder why. See you on the next one.